Hey folks, are you thinking about moving to the Mid-Willamette Valley in Oregon and you're interested in wine? Well, welcome to Wine-Vallis. I'm Michael Kreslowski with Team K Realty. This is our buyer specialist, Noelle Moen.
Hi.
And Noelle actually knows a lot about wine. Before we get started, this is a bit of a misnomer. We're calling it Wine-Vallis. We are currently filming this at Brigadoon, which is about a half hour south of Corvalis. There are no vineyards inside of city limits, as far as I'm aware. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite places in the area. Not a sponsored video. We just want to give you shout outs to some wonderful places to go sit, enjoy wine and scenery so that you can have a fun visit and or move here and have all these on your passport.
As some people may be aware of or not aware of, everyone knows that France and California are big names in the wine industry, but Oregon is quickly becoming a very big name in itself as well. There was actually a Times article written here that was shared by our previous team member, Kelly, talking about how Oregon is the next Napa Valley.
I didn't get into wine until quite recently, but I gotta tell you, everything grows great here, and I have some fond memories of 15 years ago moving to the Mid-Valley, going to the farmers markets and tasting some of the grapes and buying them too, and they were mind-blowingly amazing, even just table grapes grown in the Mid-Valley. So we do have some fantastic wines.
And along with our soils as well. Joy red clay soils are wonderful for actually growing grapes here in the Willamette Valley.
Since this is a follow-up in part to the Beer-Vallis video we made, you should also keep in mind that Oregon State University, OSU, has a fermentation sciences program that is not only there for beer, but they also have a strong viticulture program.
This is not a ranked list of wineries throughout this video. These are just wineries that myself and the rest of the team really love, really enjoy to go to, and we wanted to share them with you.
Okay, so we're gonna do one quick mini region at a time. Let's start with the Philomath, Oregon area. In Philomath, one of our favorite places is Cardwell Hill Cellars. What I love about Cardwell Hill Cellars is that they've got some wonderful Pinot Noirs, but also some really good blush and rosés, and it's really fun to go sit there. Outside, you've got a covered grape arbor, and you can see the estate-looking house in the background.
Right next door, across the street, is a Lumos Wine Company. They are a really fantastic wine company. They make fantastic whites in particular, in my personal opinion. And they have wonderful covered areas, but lots of extensive outdoor seating, as well as a beautiful view of Mary's Peak in the background.
Yes. Next up, don't miss Harris Bridge Vineyard, which shows up in the wrong spot on the map because of where their mailing address must be compared to the actual tasting room. But their tasting room, this is really fun. It's a small winery, and they've got those tall, skinny bottles of aperitifs and dessert wines. First time I went there, I looked at the bottle and it said vermouth on it. I thought naively that a vermouth was just a mixer for making a martini, and the person there running the tasting room said, "Oh, you're about to learn something and really enjoy this." They've got really great dessert wines and aperitifs and cordials, and I might be using the wrong word there, but holy cow, you gotta check this place out.
Next is Tai Wine Cellars. They are actually located down south of Corvalis. In southern Corvalis. They are really amazing venue, actually for weddings in particular as well.
Yes.
They have plenty of fantastic wines, and they are really great members of the community.
Next up, you'll find Compton Family Winery right inside of Philomath because their tasting room is set up on the main street in Philomath. Maybe it's called Applegate Street. I actually took my family there yesterday for Mother's Day. We're filming this in mid-May, and we had a good conversation with, I believe her name was Tabitha, over at the winery. We had a lovely wine tasting flight of some Chardonnays that were aged in concrete eggs, as well as some amazing Pinot Noirs. I love their Pinot Noir that's called a cuvée. I've really enjoyed that over at Gathering Together Farms, which is probably my favorite restaurant in the area too.
Compton Family Farms is also really focused on regenerative farming. So they actually have a lot of animals that they actually allow out into the vineyard to help with grazing and also keeping nutrients within the soil instead of tilling throughout much of the season. And it's a lot more of a sustainable practice.
Yeah. As we leave Philomath, we're going to venture north on Highway 99 West, and we're going to go check out is it Dundy or Dundy Hills area?
It's Dundy is the town. Dundy Hills, AVA, is actually where all the wineries are.
Nice. And our first one to talk about there is Sockel Blosser, right?
Exactly. Saccoblosser is a really beautiful winery, fantastic sustainable practices. It was one of the first live sustainable practiced wineries in the area. It's one of the oldest vineyards in the area.
Nice.
And it's family owned and run, and it's simply amazing. Definitely go and check them out.
Next up in the Dundy Hills area is Winters Hill Estate, which is where you used to work for a number of years, right?
Exactly.
I got it right this time. Tell us a little bit about Winters Hill.
Winters Hill is also a family-owned and run. Russell Gladhart is actually the winemaker there and was my former boss.
Nice.
Hi, Russell. Really sustainable practices as well. Really tasty wines. Fantastic, amazing practices as well. And you definitely need to try out their Pinot Noirs in particular and their dessert wine that they have. That's Pinot Grigio, and it's faux iced wine. It's really cool. Definitely go check them out and say hi for me.
Next up in the Dundy Hills area, tell us about White Rose Estate.
White Rose Estate. So an estate basically means that all the wine that you see on the vineyard right there is actually processed right there. There's no moving it around to cellars. It's just processed there. And White Rose in particular, pretty much exclusively now, only does red wine. They've previously done a little stint with white wine because of 2020, but typically they are renowned for their red wines. They have a really awesome indoor enclosure as well for tastings. That's really amazing. And they have a beautiful view on top of Dundy Hill that you have to check out.
Our final one in the Dundy Hills area would be Domaine Drun. And tell us a little bit about what that means, because domain sounds like an official term in winemaking, but also why people should check out Domaine Drun.
Domain basically means that somehow the winery is connected back to Burgundy, France, which is a renowned winery area. Domaine Drun, the family who has owned it, has been working there since the 1980s making wine. They're fantastic as well. Also known for their Pinots. You're going to hear the word Pinot a lot here. They're also super sustainable. They have beautiful views all throughout their estate as well, going up through the hills. And they also have one of my favorite pressing rooms of all time as a former winemaker.
As we transition from the Dundy Hills area to more general, north of Corvalis on 99 West, you'll notice a theme here, right? We're talking a lot about Pinot Noirs. And there's this great catchphrase that I don't want to butcher, but it had to do with paying homage to the Queen.
Yes. So, officially, the king of wines is the Cab Sauv, which is located in California. Unofficially, in wine country up here, Pinot Noir is the queen of wines.
Cheers to the Queen.
I wish we had a glass.
Yeah, then we could pretend to be drinking while on the job.
Yes.
All right, so we're still north of Corvalis on 99 West, and our next place up is going to be Eola Hills. So tell us a little bit about Eola Hills. Is it Eola Hills Winery or Estate?
It is a winery.
Okay.
So they process some of their wines there, but they also get wines from grapes from other areas as well.
Okay.
They are a really excellent place to go and enjoy music and food, as well as enjoying other grape varietals such as Gewürztraminer. And it's just a really great place to go and pick up any Pinot Noirs and other wines as well.
Right up in that same neck of the woods off 99 West, north of Corvalis, you've got Namaste Vineyards, which I feel funny mentioning because none of our team members have actually been there in person yet, but we've really enjoyed their Pinot Noirs and some of the other wines at our local grocery stores and local shops. So definitely check out Namaste Vineyards as part of your wine journey. And then next up in the 99 West area, north of Corvalis, we've got Left Coast Estate, which is fun to mention because we're filming this at Brigadoon right now. And Brigadoon, one of their sons, actually is a friend of mine who used to work at Left Coast Estate. And Left Coast Estate has some great wines, and it's also a wonderful venue. Cody, who's editing this video right now, his mom and stepdad got married at Left Coast Estate, or at least had their celebration up there. I don't want to misquote it. So it's a great venue, and Cody made a point of saying that we should remember to tell you guys about the wood-fired pizza oven that was brought in from Italy, and just how amazing that is up at Left Coast too. So they have more than just great wines there. Next up on 99 West is Firee Vineyards. My wife Ray and I, we used to really enjoy going to Firesteed right before the pandemic shut things down for a few days there. And we were totally enjoying talking with, I think his name was Steve, at the tasting room. And Steve was showing us the difference between some of these like really earthy, older Pinot Noirs and some of the newer ones that they have double magnums of. And he was popping some of these like 1996 bottles of Pinot and showing us the different like tartaric acid crystals growing on the inside of the corks. We had some really fun experiences going to their tasting room. You got to check them out. And you can get their wine locally at Market of Choice and even Trader Joe's.
All right, next up is Airlie. That is just located right north of Corvalis in Monmouth. And it's woman-owned, woman-operated. So happy Mother's Day. I drank a bottle just for Mother's Day.
Nice.
They're super dog-friendly. They also have really great sustainable practices. And they also have a fantastic wine club. You should definitely check them out.
All right, now we're going to take a trip a little bit east and go to I-5. Right off of I-5, or the 5 if you're from California watching these videos. We've got the big one. We've got Willamette Valley Vineyards. And Willamette Valley Vineyards has some wonderful Pinot Noirs. They've got a gorgeous tasting room set up there. You can drive up the hill through the grapevines to go see it. And my household really loves their Orange Blossom Rosé as well. That's a big favorite. Noelle, take us into Albany. Let's go back into the heart of the Mid-Valley here. Let's go to Albany and tell us about one of our favorite spots in North Albany.
Spring Hill Cellars is amazingly open from May to October. They're a fantastic venue to go out and listen to some music, have some great food, and also enjoy their wine as well.
All right, now we're going to go a little bit further south. We are about a half hour south of Corvalis, and we are actually filming here today over at Brigadoon Vineyards. Brigadoon is owned by a friend of ours, and they were kind enough to let us film this here, but none of these are sponsored. We just wanted to let you know about some of our favorite places. Brigadoon. What you should know about Brigadoon is that they've got some gorgeous Pinot Noirs. When I drink their Lily Pinot Noir, it brings back memories of my wife's 40th birthday because that's what we were toasting on the balcony of the Elizabeth Street Inn over in Newport, watching the sunset, and we saw the green flash while drinking that wine. Ooh, and Brigadoon here, they are also very well known for a great Riesling. Nearby here in the Monroe Junction City area, we've also got High Pass Winery. Can you tell us a little bit about High Pass?
They are a really excellent company over here that makes great wines, and they're really well known for their reds, rosés, and their Pinot Gris. They make really high quality wine at a great price.
All right, and next up in the Monroe Junction City area would be Lavel Vineyards. Noelle, take it away.
Lavel Vineyards just so happens to be my mother-in-law's favorite vineyard, and we also had a bottle of their Symphony Red blend yesterday for Mother's Day. They also make an amazing white Pinot Noir, great rosés. They have a beautiful outdoor sitting area as well as a great tasting room. Definitely go and check them out.
Love it. All right, and for those of you that want to get your steps in while also enjoying some great tasty wine, don't miss the Downtown Corvalis Wine Walk. They've got a couple throughout the year. I feel like there's one in September and there's one in
April
in the springtime.
Definitely go and check that out. It's a really fun event and it supports local businesses as well as being able to have some tasty, tasty wine.
Kind of like a wine walk, there's also events like Winter's Eve, which in this case is in downtown Corvalis in, I think, early December. And this is the one where there's like a big party tent rented out and put in the street in the middle of downtown. There's food, there's wine tastings, shops stay open late. What else is cool about that one?
There's also auctions as well for different items and services actually as well.
Yeah. My wife and I finally made it there this past year, a few months ago. It was the first time ever because previously she was always working that night to keep shops open late for Winter's Eve guests. You wanted to tell us about the Downtown Albany Wine Walk as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. The Downtown Albany Wine Walk is a new recent thing that's been happening for a little bit, but it's smaller than the Corvalis one, but it's super fun, very similar to the Corvalis one where you go and visit different businesses in downtown Albany while enjoying wine.
Yes, look for us there and feel free to say hi. We'd love to have, oh my gosh, no one's ever actually done that before. No one has actually ever just walked up randomly and been like, I watch your YouTube videos. You call us all the time, but that's yet to happen. So feel free to say hi. Philomath has one too. Don't miss Philomath Uncorked, which is Philomath's wine walk in downtown in the summertime, where you get your drink glass, you get your drink tickets, your drink glass and your drink tickets, and you go visit all the local businesses downtown, and there's vineyards and wineries from around the area pouring, and it's really fun. So definitely check them out. Ooh, and in case we didn't mention this before, as we're filming this, it is May in the Mid-Valley. Mother's Day weekend was just yesterday, and May is a special month for wine lovers in Oregon. Tell us all about it.
Because it's Oregon Wine Month. So feel free to go and pop open a bottle of Oregon wine, enjoy it, celebrate the month of May for Oregon Wine Month, and check out OregonWine.org for more information.
All right, now we're going to transition into talking to you a little bit about some of the great places to go in city limits to sip on wines on any given day, not just for special events. Would you kick it off, please, with downtown Corvalis?
Absolutely. One of the first ones I can think of right off the bat is right down the street from our office, Wine Cellars. They are absolutely fantastic. I really like their rosés. And they have a really nice little tasting room right by Old World Deli.
Right on 2nd Street in downtown Corvalis. And we've also got some wonderful local restaurants in the area that, of course, feature high-quality local wine. So let's tell you about a few of our favorites now.
Del Alma is a really great Latinx-inspired food, and they have a really amazing wine list, and they also have a separate little wine bar that you can go and check out, and they have an extensive wine list. Definitely go and check them out.
Yes. Castor is another place right in downtown Corvalis. Castor is kind of like a farm-to-table type restaurant.
With a southern influence.
With a southern influence? Mm-hmm. And after you've gone to Castor and maybe walked around downtown and worked up a hunger, then for your next meal, how about Magenta? What do we need to know about Magenta?
Magenta is a Asian fusion-inspired restaurant that has little tiny plates, but they also have some main courses, but I'm very partial to their little tiny plates of food. They also have an extensive wine list. I actually had a really great Pinot Grigio from them the other day.
Nice.
Now, this video wouldn't be complete without mentioning Michael's favorite restaurant of all time, Gathering Together Farms.
Right, so Gathering Together Farms, favorite restaurant ever. It's just a few minutes south of Philomath, about 15 minutes away from downtown Corvallis, so it's all the same area. And of course, they've got some great wines there. Probably mentioned already that I love their Pinot Noir Cuvée, which is from Compton. Sorry, not from them, but we really enjoy it there. And my wife's getting this white wine that's an Aligote there. I don't remember which vineyard it is, so we'll have to put it on the screen if we can find it. And of course, when you're at Gathering Together Farms, everything's incredible. Farm fresh salads, wood-fired pizzas, the main courses and desserts will just simply blow you away. You're gonna love the place. All right, so if you want to buy some of these amazing local wines, but you're wanting to take them home and enjoy them maybe on your back patio or your back 40, where are some great places where we can go to get bottles?
I would highly recommend the First Alternative Food Co-ops in both North and South Corvallis. They have an extensive selection, and a lot of it is local wines, so definitely go and check them out.
Market of Choice is another place that is on 9th Street in Corvallis. Market of Choice, I think we mentioned in Beer-Vallis, has a wonderful beer selection, also has an outstanding local wine selection.
Another really great one to go and check out would be Trader Joe's. They have some really affordable wines, but they also have a really good selection of local wines as well. So go through and check that out and get some Trader Joe snacks.
And believe it or not, Grocery Outlet on 9th Street, which is kind of like a bargain grocery store, has a really good wine selection there too. You never know what you're gonna find. Worth checking out, part of your treasure hunt.
Winco is another one that has a really great wine selection as well. Very easy to go through, and you're also able to pick up all your groceries as well.
And while we're talking about grocery stores that end in the suffix co, Costco.
Woo.
Costco in Albany has great local wines. It's a wonderful place to stock up on Willamette Valley Vineyards, Pinot Noirs, and also their Rieslings. And if you'd like to buy wine in quantity from the local vineyards, there's wine clubs. Noelle, tell us what we need to know about wine clubs.
Wine clubs are essentially a club that you can join where you will pay a certain amount, and every 3 to 6 months, you'll receive a shipment of wines selected from that vineyard. There are different price points and different selections and different tiers in every club, so definitely go and check them out. Interview the wine clubs and talk with their promoter and marketing director. They will give you a lot more information on that vineyard's wine club.
And do some of them ship to you, or do you go pick them up?
It depends. You can either get them shipped to your house, as long as that's okay in your state or area, or you can go and pick them at the winery, and a lot of those vineyards actually have events where you go and have a little party, such as, I know, Winters Hill usually brings out wood fire ovens and a whole bunch of food and great snacks, while also going and enjoying some fruit wine as well. Actually, a lot of wine clubs, before I forget, also offer free tastings with yourself and some other members as well if you want to take guests.
Great excuse to bring friends visiting from the area to your favorite local vineyards. And as we round out this video, don't miss the Oregon Wine Passports. There's a couple of websites we were just talking about that we'll put on the screen for you. What was the first one of those?
First one was OregonWinePass.com. And then the second one is Heart of the Valley Wine Passport, which is being promoted through Visit Corvalis.
Yes, visitcorvalis.org, I think it is on that
Yes.
one. So check those out. Don't miss them. And folks, we thank you again for spending some time with us today. We hope this has been a helpful resource to you as you're thinking about moving to the Mid-Valley here in Oregon. Our team is never too busy for you. Of course, what we actually do for a living is we help people buy and sell homes. We have a great time doing that. But stay tuned to our channel, subscribe, and that way you don't miss future content about great things to do in the Mid-Valley so that you can see what it's like living here in Oregon. Thanks so much.
Cheers!
And bye for now.